For 76 years, it was a planet. School children memorized its name. Scientists named spacecraft after it. Poets wrote about it as the cold, lonely sentinel at the edge of our solar system, the last world before the dark. And then, in a single meeting on a summer afternoon in 2006, a room full of astronomers voted it out of existence. Just like that, Pluto was gone. But that's not even close to the most extraordinary thing about it. Because the more you look at what we actually know about Pluto, what we've discovered, what we've measured, what we've seen with our own instruments, the more you realize that the debate about its name was always the least interesting thing happening. While the world argued over a label, scientists were quietly uncovering something that defied almost everything they expected to find at the frozen edge of our solar system, the last world before the dark. They expected a dead rock, a frozen, cratered, geologically inert ball of ice drifting in darkness, something ancient and unchanged, a leftover from the formation of the solar system, unremarkable except for its distance. What they found was something else entirely. In July 2015, after a journey of 9.5 years and more than 3 billion miles, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft made its closest approach to Pluto. The images began transmitting back to Earth, and the scientists gathered around their screens went quiet, because what they saw shouldn't have been there. A heart. A vast, pale nitrogen ice plain the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined, shaped unmistakably like a heart, gleaming against the dark surface of a world that was supposed to be dead. They named it Toombar Regio, after the man who first spotted Pluto through a telescope in 1930. But the shape of it, that enormous, luminous heart, felt like something more than science. It felt like a message from a world that had been waiting to be properly seen. And beneath the surface of that heart, the data got stranger still. Pluto has mountains. Not small ones, peaks of water ice rising nearly 4 miles high, as tall as anything in the Rocky Mountains, sitting at the edge of that smooth, geologically young plain. Young meaning these mountains were not formed in the ancient history of the solar system. They are being actively shaped. Something is driving geological activity on a world with no large moon to generate tidal forces, no obvious internal heat source, no mechanism that current planetary science fully explains. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. Then there is the atmosphere. Pluto has one, thin, layered, complex, with hazes of organic compounds reaching hundreds of miles above the surface. It expands as Pluto moves closer to the sun and collapses back toward the ground as it moves away. It breathes in its own slow, centuries-long rhythm. And within that atmosphere, scientists detected the chemical building blocks of organic molecules, the same kinds of molecules that, under the right conditions, are associated with the emergence of life. On Pluto, 3 billion miles from the sun. There is also the strong possibility, supported by gravitational data and theoretical models, that beneath Pluto's frozen surface lies a liquid water ocean. Not ice, not vapor, liquid water kept warm by processes we don't yet fully understand, sealed beneath miles of rock and ice, persisting in the dark. A hidden ocean at the edge of the solar system. And yet, this world was stripped of its title, reclassified, voted down into a category called dwarf planet, a term that satisfied bureaucrats and left scientists quietly furious, because the definition used to exclude Pluto would, if applied consistently, also exclude Earth. The real reason Pluto lost its status had less to do with science and more to do with the fact that its neighborhood turned out to be crowded. Out in the Kuiper Belt, the vast ring of icy bodies beyond Neptune, astronomers began finding more and more objects approaching Pluto's size. If Pluto was a planet, then so were dozens of others. The solar system would need a bigger list, and rather than expand the definition, they narrowed it. Pluto paid the price for being the first one found. But the universe doesn't care about our classifications. Pluto kept its mountains, kept its heart, kept its hidden ocean and its geological mysteries that planetary scientists are still working to understand. It was never just a rock. It was never just a footnote. It was always a world. If stories like this one reach something in you, if you believe the universe deserves to be told truthfully, fully, without shortcuts, then be part of this community. Like this video, subscribe to Legacy Untold, hit the bell so you never miss what comes next. Because space is full of stories that haven't been told yet, and we're just getting started.